Well, good morning. I realize it's been well over a month since I made a video, but a lot of things been happening here in the shop. As you can see, new piece of equipment here. Just put this in this week and just been making some chips this morning, trying to learn how to operate it, learn what the controls are on it. This is a Precision Matthews. It's PM 1127 VFLB for a large bore. It is has a 11-inch swing on it, 27-inch center to center, and got a lot to learn on it yet. But this morning I want to do a little project. Everything I've got that went with the mini lathe, the little 7X lathe, as far as boring bars were concerned, were either 1/2 inch or 3/8 inch. Got quite a few of these that come in the set. They are what they are, but they will work. These again, these are 1/2 inch, and some of those. I've got a set of 3/8 as well, like that. But I also have a 3/8 inch boring bar that takes the inserts. Let me pick up what I dropped. The tool holder that came with the lathe, the boring bar holder for it is 5/8 of an inch, and I will eventually get a 5/8 boring bar, but for right now, what we're going to do this morning, I've made one adapter, and we're going for the 1/2 inch, which will slide in here. Of course, if you're familiar with these, this is a spring sleeve in there, tightens down from the side. It doesn't actually clamp on your boring bar. So this will go in there, and then the sleeve on the outside will hold the boring bar itself. This one is for 1/2 inch. What we're going to do next in this video is make one for 3/8 inch. So I'm going to move the camera around to the back side where you can see the chuck, and we'll start working on a 3/8 inch boring bar holder. Alright, I'm going to try this camera position for a while and see how it turns out. Again, this is a whole new setup here. Not only is it new lathe, but new table, and just going to have to experiment a little bit with the camera setup, but we'll see how this works for this video. Alright, we're going to face off the end now. Alright, once we get this in place, I'm going to lock the carriage down. This has, on both sides of the cross slide, there's a lockdown. We'll have it in gear such that I can use the automatic feed on a cross slide as well. We'll get it close. Slow it down just a little bit. take the final pass on that. probably be, on something this small, would have been a little faster just to go ahead and hand feed that across there. But we're finished now. Alright, that has a clean. I've already faced the other end. This will probably get cut off, that chamfer I just put on there, but I just wanted a starting point there, or just wanted to take care of that sharp edge. Alright, let's let me unlock the carriage so I can slide it down out of the way. We're going to drill this all the way through for 3/8. Thing looks clear there. And while we're drilling, there's no need of having the feed screw engaged, so we'll disengage that. While we're right here, let's go ahead and slide the compound out of the way. I'm still very new to this lathe, so I'm probably doing some things out of sequence here. But we'll learn together maybe. I think everything is clear. And there shouldn't be any reason we can't go the full 3/8 without having to drill a smaller lead hole first. And just so I got an idea about how much farther I have to go as I drill, I'm going to go ahead and mark the drill. Actually, before I drill that 3/8, I'm going to drill that a 64th less and actually ring that out to the 3/8. So we've got a 23/64 now. Okay, we are through now. I'll run the, I'll get the reamer. See what it actually feels like with the boring bar. Yeah. So I'm going to ream it out to this is 3/8 plus 1/1000 reamer. Alright, I didn't clear my chips out of the reamer like I should have, and if you saw there, it started to bind a little bit, but no harm, no foul. I believe the reamer survived okay. It's a good fit. Okay. Now we'll slide our piece out. We need to turn like might have slipped a little bit in the chuck as well, but we're going to turn this down to 5/8 of an inch on this end for a length of 3 inches. And unadvertised in the with this lathe, it was not in any of the literature or on the web page, but when I got it, there's actually a nice little micro adjustable carriage stop over here on this side as well. So there's a nice little convenience that Precision Math uses, including now with these lathes. I know it wasn't on the earlier models. Like just a little. Okay. Now I'll replace out the drill chuck and put the live center in. Again, be sure being sure everything clears. We'll take a slow pass on there and then get a measurement. Okay, I don't have my stop in the correct position. I knew something didn't look right there. So, we'll back up a little bit and get our mark correct. Our stop correct. I had to back the compound up to get everything to clear, and that's why we lost our 3-inch mark. In all the excitement of buying the new lathe and getting some work done here in the shop, I had to do some work to the floor, getting a table built. It didn't occur to me at all that I was going to need cutting tools to go in the quick change tool post, and as it turns out, all I've got is what I have for the mini lathe, and it's not leaving that good a finish on there. I'm going to stop the camera for a minute and put a new tip in there, a new carbide insert, and see if that'll do a little better. Okay, I put a new tip in there, a new carbide insert. I'm just going to have to take smaller cuts, I guess. What's happening, this little 3/8 inch tool that I've got in here is just, it's not stout enough, and I think I'm getting a little vibration in there because I'm not taking anywhere near the size cuts this lathe is capable of. But I've got let's see, I want to get down to 625, which is 5/8. I'm at 649 now, so I've got 24 thousandths to go. I'm going to take about, I'm going to try about half of that to begin with, half that on the dial, and see what kind of finish I get. see where we are now. That shows just a couple of thousandths left to go. I've got to learn the dial on this too. I just liked it messed up right then on the little lathe that I had. When you turned 10 thousandths on the dial, you were taking 10 off of each side. With this lathe, whatever you turn off the dial is what you're taking off the entire diameter. So I only need a couple more thousandths right there. We'll try that, and then we'll actually try the holder and see how it works on there. Let's take the holder now, and that looks just right. Like I say, I almost messed up. I like to got that too small. While we're here, we'll go ahead and put a little chamfer on that edge. And I'm just going to burnish that a little bit with the file. That's really a poor finish on there, but again, it's the tool. It is absolutely not the lathe. I just got to get some different tools. So we'll carry this over to the mill now and put a couple set screws in there to actually hold the boring bar. Okay, I have the boring bar adapter mounted in a 5/8 collet in the block now. We'll line that up with the edge of our vise. And find the center. Just to be sure it repeats. Which it did. Which is exactly what it's supposed to read. And 475 will put us on center. Lock the Y down. Okay, we move over 100 thousandths for half the diameter of the probe. And on this, I want to move in 400 thousandths. So our table is locked down now. Be using 1032 set screws. So we'll first off get us a starter. And for 1032 we need a number 21 bit. This mill doesn't have enough power to actually power tap that, but hopefully one will be here in a couple more weeks. It will. Do have a new mill on the way as well. Okay, now we'll take our collet block, turn it 90 degrees, line it up with the edge of our vise again. And repeat the process. Okay, I'm going to put this back in the lathe right quick, chamfer this edge and that edge, and probably run the reamer back through it again to remove these burrs, and then I'll show you the setup. I have the excuse me, I have the 1/2 inch boring bar adapter mounted in the quick change tool pose tool holder, and I have a 1/2 inch shank boring bar in there now. And again, all these were for is simply to adapt this 5/8 in here down to 3/8, and this one a 1/2. And course, it locks down with a couple of screws there, so we'll give it a quick test run. Let's go 20, 40, there's 50 thousandths. Of course, what I have in here is aluminum, so alright, we're getting a little sing on that at that speed. Again, I hope no one will form an opinion of the quality of this lathe based on the quality of the cuts I was getting earlier. I did notice one thing while I was putting this back on. I did have my speed, my feed rate a little high, so that may have had something to do with it. But the biggest problem is I simply don't have any cutting tools set up now to make a decent cut with this lathe. Stay tuned though, there'll be plenty more to come with this lathe and the new mill that should be here in a couple of weeks. Have a good evening.